Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Life by Z. This is the third video in the Winning at Life series, and basically it's a continuation on the second video where we talked about winning the day and developing good habits to take you throughout the day. So pretty much where we left off was basically at the point where you ended your work day and you're heading home, right? Now look, getting ahead and achieving goals, you're going to have to put in time in your off hours. Even if your goals relate to what you're trying to do professionally, you're not going to accomplish that all Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, okay? The 40-hour work week doesn't cut it if you want to achieve success at a high level. You've got to be willing to put the time in either after hours or, more importantly, put the time in on your own. And that's what I want to spend the balance of this video focusing on when I talk about wrapping up the whole Winning the Day series. Question is, what are you doing with your time after work? Because like I just said a second ago, you're going to have to invest that time wisely to getting to where you want to be. And one of the first things is, how often are you socializing and going out and just hanging out with your friends? Which I'm not saying isn't a good thing to do, okay? Get out and socialize. You need to have a little break here and there, okay? I get that. But if you're going out with your friends 4 or 5 nights a week after work, that's way too much, all right? That's time that you should be taking to invest into whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Invest that time into achieving your goal, into doing something that supports what you're trying to get accomplished. 4 or 5 nights a week is way too much. Limit that to maybe about once a week. And I know that that's hard to do. Now look, I'm not telling you to become a hermit, lock yourself in your house and practice isolationism over here. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to start limiting it. You have to discipline yourself to being able to invest that time elsewhere. Remember in the first video I talked about motivation and seriousness of purpose, the difference between wanting something and really wanting something? Okay, look, you can kind of want something and you're probably not going to get to where you need to be, right? i.e., you're not going to make that sacrifice of not going out 4 or 5 nights a week. But if you really want something, if you have that desire, that motivation backed by seriousness of purpose, you'll be willing to make the sacrifices and prioritize things. So that's the thing here, is you need to start prioritizing what's important. Is going out 4 or 5 nights a week important, as opposed to maybe once a week? Or is getting your goals accomplished and getting to where you want to be really of the utmost importance to you? Now, while we're on the subject of socializing and friends, another thing you have to start considering is who it is that you're hanging out with. We all know that we're the average of the people that we spend the most time with. Now, the thing is this. You have to take emotion out of the equation. Remember in the first video we talked about brutal honesty, right? The thing about being brutally honest when you're doing an evaluation of who your friends are, friends, not acquaintances, mind you, because there is a difference between the two. The key to it is taking emotion out of the equation, because your emotions, you're going to want to have your emotions step in and say, no, I've been friends with this person for a long time. So you're going to try to find reasons to keep this person around. And here's the other thing too. When I say keep this person around, I want to be very clear on one point. I'm not telling you delete them from Facebook, delete their contact information from your phone, never speak with them again and make them your sworn enemy and put them on the pay no mind list. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you to end friendships. But you know what? You have to evaluate who it is that you're hanging out with. You want to start hanging out with people who are net positives, who add value to your life. So as I said, go through and kind of do an audit of all your friendships, i.e. the people you associate with the most, and ask yourself the really tough question, but most important, be brutally honest and ask yourself, does this person add value to my life? Are they a net positive? Okay. And as far as answering that question, if they're a successful, high achieving person, the answer is obviously yes. Okay. Those are good people to hang out with. Their habits will eventually start rubbing off on you. Maybe there's somebody that's definitely progressing down that path toward becoming that type of person. That's also a net positive. Okay. At the very least, is that person much like you, trying very hard to achieve goals, attain success, and start winning at life? If the answer to that is yes, and again, if you're taking honesty into account and getting rid of the emotion in answering that question, if the answer to that is still yes, then that person's a net positive. Now, what you might be surprised to find is that may really limit a number of people in your life, okay? You may very well have to go and make new friends. Now, this is the thing that I want to caution you on in making new friends, all right? Look at what the person has accomplished and look at their character. And I'll tell you about 2 people that I know. One person, and I'll start with him. You would swear that this is the most successful individual that you've ever met in your entire life just at a glance. Because when you look at this person, he has a brand new luxury car every year, just built himself a brand new $1 million+ home with custom luxury everything. He has the best brand name clothes and jewelry, and he's eating at the finest restaurants, in town on a weekly basis. All right. Now, yeah, you look at that person and think, wow, that's somebody that's definitely successful. They have it going on. This is exactly who Z said I should be hanging out with. Now, as a preamble to what I'm about to say next, I'm not trying to bash this person. I'm not trying to rip him apart, okay? In fairness, he has a good heart about him and he means well. But this person is without a doubt the most irresponsible, laziest person I've ever met in my entire life, and a total slob at that too. I would not trust this individual with my dry cleaning. You're probably saying to yourself, Z, if that's the case, how and why is this guy in the position that he is? Why? Because of a massive inheritance and he lives off a compound interest. And by the way, I don't fault the individual for that. I don't fault anybody for that. If you have the winning lottery ticket in life, you better cash that, okay? And I hope you do. Let me tell you about another person I know, okay? A very humble and unassuming person who you wouldn't look twice at in a crowd of people, but his story goes a little something like this. He came to the United States in 1991 with nothing but the clothes in his back and $13 in his back pocket, didn't speak a word of English, all right? He got a job as a janitor in an office building. He used to collect magazines and newspapers. Didn't even know what it was that he was reading, but he'd take them home with him and he would do the best that he could just to say the words that he saw in the paper. For all he knew, he was reading Women's Digest, but the guy was just doing the best he could to say the words. He taught himself English by doing that. Okay? And not only did he teach himself English, he went on to get 2 undergraduate degrees, a master's degree, 18 credits beyond his master's degree towards professional certification, became a full-fledged U.S. citizen, and amassed himself a nice real estate portfolio, which is worth more than a box of popcorn. And he's very involved in his community. He sits on a number of different panels, committees, and so forth. All right? Think about that. Think about what this guy accomplished with nothing more than just work ethic, desire, seriousness of purpose, and he came here with literally nothing other than the clothes in his back and $13. Okay? As I told you, you wouldn't look twice at that guy in a crowd of people. But who do you think the more successful person is? So the moral of my story is, if you're going outside of your circle to have to make new friends that add net value to your, that are net positives and add value to your life, just be cautious about those friends that you make. Now, continuing with what we're talking about over here, you got to start working out and you got to start exercising, okay? It's been proven by science that when you work out, when you exercise, it has an impact on your body to the point where you mentally start feeling better. It's not just physical. And on principle, you should be in good health anyway. Now look, I'm not going to go into a big thing here about what you need to do at the gym or what you should be eating. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube. There's plenty of stuff for you that you can kind of figure that out on your own. But look, you have to commit yourself to going to the gym. You have to commit yourself to getting in shape. You have to commit yourself to eating healthy. There's going to be those nights that you come home from work and you don't have the energy, but you need to start developing the habit of forcing yourself to go to the gym, forcing yourself to go and get that workout done. And I know it's not easy, but here's the thing. Once you actually get that workout going, it's really not that bad. The tiredness goes away. And once you fight through those first couple times that you don't want to go and work out, then eventually it's going to become a habit and you're not going to have to fight through it anymore. And overall, that's the type of mindset and habit that you need to develop, is you need to develop that habit where when you don't want to do things, but you know you need to get them done, stop procrastinating, stop making excuses, and go do them anyway. And one other thing I'll add on this, because I see this all the time at the gym, is that there's people who say, oh yeah, I go to the gym all the time. But what do? They do a couple of bicep curls, they sit there and they talk to everybody, and they play on their phone for about 45 minutes or an hour. That's not going to the gym. That's being in the gym and socializing. When you go to the gym, be in the zone, work hard, get your workouts done. All right? But look, no more excuses about going to the gym, about saying, I need a night off. You got to do it. Go to the gym, exercise, start eating healthy. And I'll also add this. Some of you are probably saying, Z, you got a good point. I know I need to do it, but right now I don't have the money. Look, here's the thing. You have the money every morning to buy yourself a cup of coffee, probably at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or wherever, all right? And I bet you that's probably costing you $3 at a pop. You're spending $15, $20 a week. If you cut that coffee habit in half, there you go. There's a $30 gym membership right there. Okay. And as far as the time, what was I just talking about a second ago when I said you have to, with when you're out of work, how much are you socializing? What are you doing, right? It's not necessarily the time, it's your priorities. Okay, isn't it you don't have the time, your priorities perhaps might not be in the right spot. Case in point, I know a woman who's a single mother and she goes to the gym and she crushes it, and God love her for it, she does a great job. I'm convinced that if a single mother can find the time with everything that a single mother would have to do in terms of workload and what they have on their plate, that anybody can find the time for it. So stop making excuses. It's not just about going to the gym, stop making excuses, and also get in the habit of stop making excuses. All right, now another thing is what you're doing once you finally come home at the end of the day, right? We talked about being productive, being efficient, and keeping the momentum going, okay? If you're coming home every day and you're just doing nothing but sit on the couch and watch TV, wrong. You don't want to do that, okay? I mean, look, People can sit here and they can talk about what's going on every major TV show out there. They can tell you everything that's happening on American Idol, The Bachelor, so on and so forth. And I'm not putting any of those shows down, okay? But look, if you're investing that much time into watching TV, how much time are you investing into your goals? You see the theme that I'm talking about over here is when you're outside of work, it's what are you doing to support what you're trying to achieve? Right now, you're probably not doing those things because your priorities aren't where they need to be. What you should be doing is coming home, getting on Google, getting on YouTube, studying and figuring things out. I'm personally convinced that you can learn anything on Google and YouTube. So no matter what the goal or the undertaking that you're trying to accomplish is, you can probably figure it out if you invest a couple of hours every day on Google and YouTube. So when you're at home, it's not just what you're doing after work, between work and getting home, it's when you're at home. Start investing that time into doing what it is that you need to do. Now, spinning the day down, this is probably the most important one. There should be an after actions review for your entire day. What you should be doing is looking at what did I do during the course of the day today? Okay, was I productive? Was I efficient? Did I generate momentum? Did I stay on point? Okay, were there things that didn't work out during the course of the day? What can I do tomorrow to try to fix that? Right? It's effective. Now, I'm not going to tell you all the different litanies and whatnot that you need to go through to build an after actions report. That's just something that you're going to have to figure out. But I mean, it is common sense stuff. But here's the one big thing that I will tell you, the one big takeaway in an after actions review. Make sure that you write down trends when you identify them, because you're going to start seeing, ooh, this happened. But you know what? That also happened 2 days ago and a couple days prior to that. When you write down the bullet point summary of your daily after actions reviews, and you should be reviewing those once a week, you're going to see trends. And some of those trends will be positive. And when you see those positive trends, needless to say, build on the positive trends. But when you see the negative ones, find ways to address them. All right? Now, at this point too, also within your after actions review, start making your plan of attack for the next day. Start getting spun up for the next day. Lay your clothes out for tomorrow morning. Saves you time in the morning. Things of that nature right there. So effectively, we went through the day in the life of good habits over here between these last two videos. Just some things to think about. They're not all the things that you need to think about, but like I always say, bullet point summary and 10,000 foot overview. All right? I think that's going to give you a good position to get started from. And here's my challenge to you. If you want to get to the point where you're achieving success, achieving goals and attaining success, you have to develop these good habits within your day. Here's what I think you should do. For the next 2 months, I want you to focus on all those good habits that I talked about and do the homework and find some other habits out on your own, okay? Figure out what those habits are and start applying them to your daily life. Don't even worry about trying to achieve goals or pursue success. I want you to build the habit of developing good habits. And if you do that for 2 months, those habits are gonna build. And when you build those habits become instinctive. And when those habits are instinctive, as they should be after 2 months, you've achieved lifestyle change, and now you're in a position where you can start going forward to try to achieve goals. In the meanwhile, I'm going to keep on cranking out some more of these videos in the Winning at Life series. There'll be some things that you need to think about during the 2-month challenge, but we'll keep on talking. Thanks for tuning in. Life by Z. Until next time.